we're here at the event in Binyanei Oman, Yerushalayim, and we're here with Rabbi Issamar. We're in Israel, we say Itamar.
I know, but there's a million Itamars. I'm Issamar, that way I'm the only one.
Issamar Ginsburg, impact marketing like you've never seen before, and it's obvious that we're first of all curious who you are, what are you doing, impact marketing. Tell us about what you do.
Okay, every person has a filing cabinet in their brain. And as soon as you ask him, what do you do? He says, I'm a real estate agent, or I'm an insurance agent, or I'm a... whatever he does, you automatically file that person in that cabinet. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately for most people, fortunately for myself, I don't actually fit into one of those files.
That's good.
What I do is, I'm not just a business consultant, what I do is I give businesses strategy for how to build themselves using psychology. If I had to make two circles, one would say business, one would say psychology. The place where the two circles meet, that little thing where you color in, that's where I live.
And you're not talking about the target audience, which obviously you're coming from specifically.
No, I actually have spoken for public companies, I've spoken with Google, I've spoken for the Jewish National Fund, to a crowd of people from about 50 countries with simultaneous translation into 5 or 6 languages. I am not at all, I do have some Haredi clients, but that is not my target market, that is not where I spend my brain.
But I would like to ask you, do you feel that what you're coming from, what you studied, the world you come from, the world of values, does that help you? Does
sure,
that give you much more value?
I haven't wasted years of my life watching television. I haven't wasted years of my life listening to the radio. I haven't wasted years of my life listening to sports.
Some would say that you need to watch television to understand the marketing, understand the shticks.
I've never been to college either, so I don't have any years of listening to a fuddy-duddy professor
Don't listen,
blubbering.
kids. College is good. It's important. I don't want to ruin the education.
But I do not. No, not at all. I find that my background actually gives me a tremendous amount of insight, which hasn't been deadened by a lot of what. It's like. People see advertisements, which they're already deadened to because they've seen so much of it. And Baruch Hashem, I find it lets me think of a different approach because I'm coming from a different world than most people.
Really, what we're seeing in the world of advertisements, sometimes in commercials, is that they go to the lower part of the human being. Would it be the temptations and things that are very materialistic?
So there's Maslow's pyramid, which is different levels of what you can reach a person. And the more levels of the pyramid you hit when you're speaking to somebody, the better off you are. Meaning to say, if I'm selling a drill, I'm selling shelter. I'm selling the fact you can build a roof over your house. If I'm selling a pink drill, then I'm already going to be selling it to a specific audience who not only wants housing, but they also want a good feeling about the fact that they like to have everything pink, so they can have a pink drill as well. So the more you can sell what you're selling, hitting more levels of the pyramid. You can Google the words Maslow's pyramid. This is not the time to explain what that is exactly, but the more levels you can hit in your advertising and in your deliverance of your product, the better off you'll be.
Now, as an observant Jew, do you find yourself sometimes saying, well, guys, this is not really kosher for me as a Jew, as a frum Jew, a religious Jew? Do you find that happening sometimes?
I have turned down many business opportunities and many consultations, including with other frum Jews who were doing something that I didn't feel was something I wanted to be involved in.
Okay, so you're here
not that it's necessarily not kosher. Just, for example, certain kind of, let's call it herbal supplements I wouldn't be involved in. There's many different areas that maybe, a rabbi may say it's okay, whatever, but it's nothing I would want to be involved in anyway.
Now you're here meeting the new immigrants. You participated in one of the panels. What is your message to these people here who are starting a new page in their life in Israel? And
okay, so I was on the main panel in which there was a different person to discuss each segment of making Aliyah. So one person discussed insurance, one person discussed the head of, I think, Kupat Cholim Maccabi, I believe, I spoke about business in this country. And the mayor was supposed to, basically going to interrupt the panel at some point, so we had to make it as fast as possible. I had about 6 minutes. In those 6 minutes, I tried to cover 7 points.
Now you're going to have to take your 6 minutes and make them into, 1 minute.
There we go. So number one, I said, don't hide the fact that you made Aliyah. Meaning to say, if you have a background, use it, be proud of it, because there are many people who made Aliyah from South Africa, from America, from Zimbabwe. I don't know how many there are from Zimbabwe, but anyway, that when they come, they're very happy to deal with someone who has a similar background to theirs and use it as a selling point instead of hiding it, because in any case, hiding it doesn't really work. The second thing I spoke about was that when you're trying to look for new clients, you should create an avatar. You should create my ideal client is an American living in Israel who has a business and has some money and is usually about 40 years old and, the more and lives in Beit Shemesh, let's say, the more you can build about what your client is like, your target client, the better your advertising can mirror that fact and the more business you'll be able to do, with Hashem's help. The next thing I spoke about was the 2 most important words to know when you come to Israel as a business person, not to mess up, plus mam.
Plus maham.
Okay, because people don't, you make a whole deal,
Which
a whole
means
agreement,
in English?
which means plus tax.
Plus tax.
18% difference, and it's sort of an alligator when somebody makes a big deal without realizing that has to come in there. Then I said a story about the Misrat Apnim. I'll say it in 10 seconds or less, which is when you go to Misrat Apnim and you have all your documents to get your student visa, Interior Ministry, to get your documents or whatever, leave one piece of paper in your pocket. Because ultimately this is Israel, and the way bureaucracy works is they'll look at all your papers and say, oh, you're missing this, or your letterhead doesn't have a stamp of the...
So that's like a sort of tactical or
right,
strategy.
so you keep something in your pocket so that when they say, oh, you have everything beside the letter from your rabbi saying that you're Jewish,
and then you take
oh,
it
here you go, take it out of my
yeah.
pocket. It's true in business as well, which is you always have to leave your clients something to ask. You have to feel intelligent. They have to feel, I like this soup, but there's a crease over here. No problem, we'll press it. Even if there's no crease, let them feel that they're intelligent enough to have some opinion of their own. And the last thing I spoke about is that you need to have siyata d'shmaya. If everything you do, need help from above.
An interesting and an important message, especially the last one. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me. Atzlach Rabbi.
Amen.